Hello everyone, this is Spin, and welcome back to another episode of my A.L.T walkthrough series for Doom 2, and in today's episode I'm playing through MAP20, 20.44. I'm playing on the prboom plus source port on the ultraviolence difficulty with compatibility levels set to boom. So let's begin. So to start things off, we have a couple of imps greet us, and as you can see, or hear I should say, we have a Spider Mastermind somewhere. But we will meet her very much later on in the map. So far, we're just going to take care of all these imps. And pinkies along the way. Once we clear out this opening area, make sure, well, of course there's an imp on the top there. We go through this FIREBLU teleporter. We're greeted by a Baron of Hell, of course. Take out the Revenant with the little cover that you do have. And don't get jump scared by the Hell Knight. And he got stuck on the ledge. I'm gonna go ahead and take out this Mancubus over here. And there are cacos behind this bloodfall. Now let's go ahead and grab our Berserk power-up, which I completely whiffed on. Let's try that one again. Again, A.L.T in this platforming. There we go. Plus some shells in this corner here. We can honestly go ahead and start taking out some of these imps. We go through the next FIREBLU teleporter. We'll be greeted by more imps followed by cacos. If we strafe run across here, yeah, we have an additional Revenant. Plus there's the green armor and a backpack full of ammo. So now we make our way up here. So we'll go ahead and grab some ammunition surrounding the area. We need to get up here so we can hit this switch. The stairs will lower. Take out the Hell Knight. And we're not... It looks like the Barons woke up. Normally they're supposed to show up after you get inside with them, which is a very tight combat scenario, but... Here we can cheese. And we just take the lift up. And don't forget the lone imps in the alcoves. So, on to the next FIREBLU teleporter. Wake up some specters. before we continue on, here's our rocket launcher drop, but once we grab it, a Hell Knight, and of course the Mechibus will show up. Now, I gotta be careful here because we have a bunch of chain gunners to our right. And some are infighting, which is good. I'm not concerned about those pinkies, they're just incapable. Okay, they finally squeezed through. And thankfully that was the final chain gunner. We need to take this left and drop down here. I'll try and take out that chain gunner, but looks like his buddies are his shield. I'll use the rocket since I'm low on the shotgun ammo. Then we hit this. Another Mechibus. He gets squished. And then instead of going through the door, drop down here for our secret where we get some shotgun ammo and the computer area map. We just interact with the lift so we can take it back up. No need to teleport. Now, more specters were hiding. I'll just go ahead and punch them all out. Weak berserk punches. And we got chain gunners in here. Around the corners. I'm gonna grab the mega arm, but once you grab it, drop down because, well, as you can see, chain gunners have arrived. Okay, so be careful here. Because yeah, you got archviles. Yeah, take them out first, then deal with the Hell Knights. And here's our next secret over here, which is a soul sphere and plasma ammo. Followed by another mega armor in case you got your ass whooped by the archviles. Now here's where it gets crazy. Basically in a darker recreation of the starting area, but this time we have a bunch of barons. Again, me and my splash damage. Now, as per tradition, he must have been at full health. But yes, we cleared this area, now we can head on back to our FIREBLU. We need to get red key for this object. And this is an interesting portion. We have nothing but barons and hell knights on the far. Figures why not do it this way? Oh yeah, okay. I'll deal with them later. They whooped my ass, and I gotta come down here to grab the additional mega armor in this non-secret area. And taking this teleport will bring us back here. And I tried to play Punch Out, but there was too many. Did not account for that other Hell Knight that was there. Goodness. Yeah, we need to be up here anyway to grab this red access card. And once you grab it, of course, all these imps and a Mancubus will spawn in. We can even use the Mancubus as our personal turret. Gonna fight with the imps, because that's a very tight space. I'm gonna go ahead and put the plasma rifle to use, since there is a lot, and I don't feel like waiting for them to end fight. Alright, splash damage for the imps. I could punch out the rest. Satisfying. Yes, there are some lost souls here. Let me just check the path they were on. Top up whatever health. I went through that soul sphere quickly. That was just me goofing around too. Alright, no items that the lost souls were guarding, so just wanted to be sure. Now we can return to that one space. Now we activate the switch so we can now gain access to the next area. Oh man, I was almost won that punch out. I'll just rocket my way through these suckers. I like to be in a position where I could see the enemy. Yeah, just continue to wrap around so we can take out each of these Hell Knights. Okay, now before I go to that door, I need to showcase a secret. Or at least a non-secret. Now around this big open chasm area here, go over here to the little pillar area that doesn't have the hanging bodies. You just go over there, drop down, and hug the corner to grab a soul sphere. Because if you drop down to where those corpses are, the corpses have infinite height, meaning you cannot get past them, as you can see. There's also a secret down the chasm area too. Oh, I hear a lot of enemies waiting for me. It's over here, which will get plasma and a mega armor. Of course, the teleporter takes us all the way back up here. And just like before, we're gonna walk our way through. And before we enter our red area, our fourth and final secret's over here. Just hug the corner carefully to grab the BFG 9000. Just don't forget to take a look to the left. You don't want to get jump scared by the Mechubus. Of course, we're already topped up on a soul sphere already. But don't run through the FIREBLU teleport just yet. We have Mechubus in the dark. So we take them out. I'm back to another area that looks similar to the starting area, but it's not quite it. We have more imps to fight. I'm gonna use crowd control for these suckers. Jibs. What if I could use... Nah, that's not gonna work. Try to use the infinite height. As you can see, there's the Spider Mastermind. It's alcove. Of course, we're too far away to get up and close and personal with the BFG, so we're just gonna have to use the plasma rifle for now. Can't one-shot it. Alright, that's the first Spider Mastermind. We have a Mega Sphere over here, but I'm not going to grab it quite yet. Here's our second Mastermind. An alternative thing you can do is do this. get all the way over here. This is perhaps the most safest way of dealing with the masterminds. Because the pain stays pretty high with the plasma rifle, and you'll be far away enough so you won't have to deal with them. Now, once they're done with, you're going to be facing off against an Army of Revenants. Yeah, they gone full Plutonia now. We can just peekaboo shoot using rockets. Yeah, big bottleneck tactics right here. Keep an eye out for any homing missiles. The numbers are getting thinner. Man, stubborn little things. God damn, that's an entire army of missiles. Okay. That's still not all of them. That ain't all of them either. So I'm gonna go back because it's like by the time you get to that part, there should only be 2 enemies left. So it's not in the imp area. Yeah, I figured. For some reason there's 2 revenants down here in the pit area, because this pit area lowers 2, or I can't remember, but there should be another revenant down here somewhere in this pit. If not, he probably walked into one of the teleporters. Now it's becoming a wild goose chase trying to find this sucker. We have to use IDDT soon. I can't find them. Right now I'm going to go ahead and face off the Cyber Demon. Yes, there's a Cyber Demon in this map. Also a good time to go back and get some of my ammunitions. Oh, there you are. Yeah, I was thinking you were in the pit with that singular Revenant. But yeah, sometimes Revenants would be in the pit area. I don't know why. Last time I did a practice run of this map, there was 2 Revenants in the big chasm area, but this time they all teleported here. But yeah, just be wary for that if you're going for 100% kills. Now it's time for the big show. Now how this works is, we have this platform here. If we walk over it, we can blast a BFG shot in the Cybe's big meaty cheeks. And this is a very awkward way of fighting it. I may just go ahead and just do the plasma method, because the BFG method would just be too troublesome, since you have the lift constantly lowering and raising, and he is stationary anyway, so... yeah, this is just for the better. It's like way too risky having to make that rush all the way up to him. And we took him out too. And that's all that matters. Once we approach him, of course, we enter the exit, but we also got a transition. Alright, I'll let it read out first. Okay, it's evening already, and I still can't escape this factory flooded with toxic waste. While searching around, I managed to get to the base control center through the sewers. There, I found a system matrix and managed to travel to somewhere that looks like virtual reality. When is it all going to end? Although something inside me demands continuation, and that frightens me. So yeah, that wraps up 20.44. That's a very large and pretty tough map, starting off for the climactic part of A.L.T, the next 10 maps. So we kick off map 20 fairly strong with a lot of monsters in the starting area. You start off with a bunch of imps and pinkies, and then you gradually make your way up through all the bigger enemies. And this is a really huge map. You have a lot to explore, and it's fairly straightforward, although the most repetitive part, if I can get my words right, is perhaps the chasm area where we have to loop around and fight the Hell Knights and the Lone Baron every now and then. And it is a very tough challenge, because leading up to that, you have to go get through the teleport. Before you even do that, you have to get the red keycard first, and once you get the red keycard, you get an army of imps and 2 mancubi in a pretty awkward spot, but you should be able to take them out fairly quickly using either the Mancubus fireballs and firing, or you intervene directly with the rockets, which this map gives you plenty of. So you'll be stockpiled on all sorts of ammunition for the road. And of course, back to what I was mentioning earlier around the chasm area. Leading up to it, you have to fight the 2 Archviles and the Hell Knights, which is a nasty surprise, but if you're quick enough with your rockets and back away from the Archvile zap, you'll take them out clearly and effectively. Now, of course, the chasm is pretty repetitive with its Hell Knights and its looping area. You have to go through it several times, and also houses some secrets, which are very rewarding and are not a lot, so they are fairly easy to find. You got the first one having the computer area map, so you pretty much are set for life once you grab that. You can find others as you go on, of course. Now, of course, the biggest highlight is the Baron of Hell arena, which is reminiscent of the starting area, except it's dark, pitch black, and you have a bunch of barons, which is fairly simple. You just have to watch your back and don't get overwhelmed by the crowds of barons. And then once you're past that, you face off near the BFG 9000 area, which is the Mancubus guarding the FIREBLU teleporter, which leads to our final area, which is another area reminiscent of the starting area, but this time you have two Spider Masterminds perched in a certain spot. They're in their little two spots you can take out. Of course, you can take them out doing peekaboo shooting, or you can go to where the Cyberdemon is at, past the button that you step on to reveal him, and fire away with the plasma rifle, taking out both Cyberdemons, not Cyberdemons, but Masterminds at a safe distance. And then after that, you got the Army of Revenants, which some will sometimes spawn into the chasm. I don't know why they do that, but sometimes you may have to go back and take out that lone Revenant. But once you get past that, it's time to face off the Cyberdemon. Of course, it's probably one of the most unusual encounters. He's in a stationary position and on a lift that's constantly has to be lowered by pressing the pressure plate on the bottom, and it's timed too, so it's better to just use the plasma rifle instead of getting up close in the BFG 9000, because it's just a lot of time involved. You have to get the timing right, and you gotta be real quick on the dodging. So yes, that wraps up 20.44. It's a pretty large and upscale map. It's pretty tough too, but I enjoyed it so far. So yeah, that wraps it up for this episode. Thank you all for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.